Is that right? 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 4 1 2. Hello, hello. Good afternoon. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 4 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Is that right?
Yeah, no. Yeah. I had a
NPLW competition coming away this afternoon between Brunswick Juventus and Spring Hills. Both teams really in need of the points this afternoon. If Spring Hills can... Brunswick Juventus side that went down last Friday night, 5-0 at Wembley Park against Box Hill United. We see Samira Rex-Heppy and Mia Sikorsky drop to the bench, and that sees them line up with the American Peyton Woodward in goal. In defence, it's Natalie Grimmer, Nathalie Kaur, Eden McKenzie, Shishido Nanami. In midfield, it's Natalie Chia with Elisa Smith, Sienna Kapala, Layla Butler, Deanna McKenzie and Anastasia Rummel will lead the line for Juve this afternoon. And for Tom Markowski's Spring Hill side, they proceed with Gemma Ibrahim in goal. There's a new face in defence. Sasha Dashkladova comes in to replace Bella Stringfellow at left back. In central defence, Yukina Tamamura and Natasha Dakic. Emily Geronimo at right back. In midfield, it's the experienced figure of Alexandra Sinclair, who scored last week against Heidelberg United, as well as Nikki Bozanovsky, Jacinta Tarante Crook. Mona Ensor comes into the starting 11 for Eri Yamashita, who was subbed out at half-time last week, and Julia Budyongo will lead the line for Tom Markowski's Spring Hills Stallions this afternoon. We'll have a look at those substitutes for you in this one as well. For Brunswick Juventus, Mia Sikorsky, Natasha Colosimo, Samira Rex-Heppy, Tiana Orphanides and Gurleen Sandhu. And for the visitors, Spring Hill, it's Christine Souza, Emily Tanaka, Holly Spasato, Charlize Stefanovsky, Mali Sakita and Chelsea De Silva. We're all in readiness now for kickoff in this round 9 clash. Our referee this afternoon overseeing this one is Shab Saban, assisted by Giselle Spetzer, Natalie Finlay, and our fourth official is Jordan Spetzer. And we're about to kick off. It's going to be Alexandra Sinclair of Spring Hills getting us underway, and Spring Hills going to be playing to the southern end of the venue, the city end, the left of your screen at home. There in the predominantly white kits with the pink shorts, and we see Juve as well in the white kits with the black stripes. So it's a lot of white out there this afternoon in the jerseys. We'll do our best to separate the two teams, and hopefully you enjoy this encounter at home, all in readiness for a classic match this afternoon between two sides who really do need the points on a proper wintry afternoon. 12 degrees on kickoff as we see an early chance getting on the ball there. Anastasia Rummel, the number 9 for Juve, making the early inroads into this one. Here's Sinclair. That was her goal last week, rounding the goalkeeper against Heidelberg United, with the assist coming from the central defender, Yukina Tamamura. And it's the Stallions looking to get into the attack here through Julia Budyongo. She's charging down the right flank. Good bit of defending from Navleen Kaur. Here's an opportunity for Nikki Bozanovsky. And this is Ensor, a player coming into the starting 11, Dakic. It looks like she's playing a slightly more advanced role from the the usual central defensive position. We saw her stepping out of that central defensive role and into midfield last week. You might see it again today. Ball in by Anderson. It's away this time by Kaur. Bit of conjecture here as to whether the ball is going to be restarted via a goal kick or a corner, but it will be the former. And Juve getting us back underway here. This is Natasha Dakic. Under pressure is Ensor. Does well in heavy traffic, combining with Bozanowski. The Stallions switching the ball from right to left. Sinclair coming to receive feet. Tamamura looking to play direct in towards Anderson. And it's Juve winning the ball back. Good touch by Diana McKenzie, one of those players coming into the starting 11 for Justin Laria's side. Both of these teams, just the one win for the season. 3 points would be truly worth its weight in gold this afternoon. I was there when Spring Hills did enjoy their only win of the season. They've had 4 draws, mind you, so they've been there and thereabouts on so many of the 8 games that they've played in the league so far. Their only other win so far this season came in the round 4 of the Nike FC Cup, getting over the top of Ringwood City at Jubilee Park back on the 15th of April. Olivia Anderson scoring in the 90th minute in that one, leaving it late and avoiding going to extra time. And this is a good ball by Dashkladova to combine with Budyongo, who's been busy early in this one. Julia Budyongo swings it in, and it's repelled by that Juve defence. What will the decision be here? It's a throw-in right next to the corner flag. I hope you're enjoying this wherever you're tuning in this afternoon on a cold, wintry afternoon in Melbourne. Steve Curtin with you on commentary. And Jordan behind the camera. We've got Chris here on stats as well as part of the broadcast team. Everyone here is rugged up, as you would imagine, for this cold snap, which has probably been long overdue, to be fair. We've had the nicest spell of dry autumn weather, and the heavens opened this morning across Melbourne, and the pitch is a little sticky underfoot out there when we went out to inspect it before kickoff, but grass coverage is still looking good at this time of the year. Midway through the season, we saw the men's season reaching halfway, and this is the 9th round of the women's competition. We've almost got to the point where we've played everyone once. This is long direct ball. It's going to go all the way through to Jenna Ibrahim there, who's untroubled in the all-green kit. The sun tries to break through the clouds. I actually left the sunglasses behind from the match day commentary kit this afternoon. We had to reach for the car sunglasses instead, which look pretty scratched, so hopefully we don't need them, though we could use some sun to warm us up here this afternoon. That's a good touch there by Rammel. A good little 1-2 on the edge of the area, and the run coming from in behind was from Layla Butler, but the assistant referee judged that Butler didn't quite time the run to perfection, so offside is the decision, and Spring Hills can clear their lines here. There's a modest crowd in attendance to our right this afternoon. A lot of people have elected to stay home and enjoy this one from the comfort of your own home. I hope you've got the heater on, or maybe even the fireplace if it's available to you to warm up by the flames of the wood heater. Wouldn't that be a nice thing this afternoon? As we said, just 12 degrees on kickoff, and forecast to drop down to 11 by the end of the proceedings this afternoon. In comes the throw. Rammel is the target. He's got a couple of players to beat. Goes to ground, asks the referee. Asks the question. Looked like it was just outside the penalty area. And it's out of play for a Brunswick Juventus throw. Brunswick Juventus' win. Their only win of the season coming against the Football Victoria Academy side. And they've got themselves the first corner of the afternoon here. So the tall timber are gathered around the back post area. It's all about the quality of the delivery here as it comes in towards the penalty spot. They're queuing up for it here, Juve. Oh, and it's off the line. Close call for Spring Hills, and doing the defensive work there again. Emily Geronimo clearing it off the line and then making the secondary clearance as well. So good defending by Emily Geronimo. And we've got a goal here already from one end to the other. Budyongo involved. And Spring Hills turning defence into attack. That's Budyongo's pressure. Pressure on the goalkeeper. And supporting pressure from Anderson as well, involved in the move. Budyongo chasing down the goalkeeper. And it's a mistake that Peyton Woodward won't want to see again. But Julia Budyongo is on target from close range after winning the ball back. And that will be her first of the season. Julia Budyongo opening her account for 2025. Some might say it was a gift, but she was more than happy to unwrap that one and slot it into the back of the net to give Spring Hills the early lead in this one. Julia Budyongo, the scorer. As we say, credit has to go to the defensive work of Emily Geronimo and Budyongo, a couple of former Geelong Galaxy players for years gone by. Here's the throw taken by Dash Gladova. And they're going to advance it down the line. Another 15 metres here are the Stallions. Budyongo again with the interception. Had her shirt tugged. Play on's the call. Looking for Ensor. It's all Juventus there now. They can walk it out of defence. Long ball forward, aim for Rammel. Rammel does pick up the loose ball now. Looking for support. Tries to play it to Diana McKenzie. And now Butler is charging down the left-hand side. And again, it's a good bit of work from Geronimo to put it out of play. Geronimo instrumental in the build-up to the goal, you have to say. Clearing it off her line from the corner, and then the secondary clearance, ball up the other end of the field. Peyton Woodward and the back four for Juve, unable to play out from the back. Caught in possession in the end, Woodward and Budyongo. As we see here, she's such a dangerous player. She just keeps on hassling opponents, winning the ball back, as we see here again. They charge down the right-hand side. Olivia Anderson wins the throw. Olivia Anderson matching up against Natalie Grimmer on the far side there. Budyongo playing through the middle and drifting out wide left and wide right. Here she is on the ball again. Loses out this time. Juve can try and come forward here through McKenzie. Ball over the top, asking a little bit of Rammel. Almost made it there, but in the end, really well judged by the experienced figure of Jenna Ibrahim. Jenna Ibrahim, only 24 years of age, but she does feel like a young veteran. We do have a milestone in this match as well. It's 50 games in the NPLW for Alyssa Smith. Spent some time at Calder United, played 22 games and scored a couple of goals for them last season. And she's been involved in all 8 fixtures so far for Brunswick Juventus this year, so congratulations to Alyssa Smith on that milestone. 50 games in the NPLW. Hoping to cap it off with in a celebratory fashion at the end of the proceedings, but they've got a bit of work to do here As they try and play it forward. It was a good ball aimed at Coppola. In the gloves, easy to pick out. Here's McKenzie, one way then the other. Heavy bracing on the right knee for McKenzie. Budiongo winning the ball back. Not quite on the same wavelength there was Ensor with a teammate Budiongo. The run was never really coming. Ensor still decided to play the ball down the line anyway. That goal for Budiongo is her 17th in the NPLW competition in her career. In game number 70 at this level. Plenty being said from the technical areas on the far side. You can hear that right across the pitch. Brought down well by Sinker, looking for Ensor. That's a good touch by Coppola. It's gone a little bit too far in front of it herself, in fact. Picked off by Tanate Crook. Tamamura. Dashkladova. Making a appearance this afternoon in the team. Dashkladova coming in from not being involved last week. Rammel's ball forward. McKenzie tries her luck. It was deflected off her teammate Butler, but it runs through harmlessly to Ibrahim. I mentioned Sasha Dashkladova, 2 appearances this season, both of them as a substitute. Getting a first start for the season, operating as the left back this afternoon. Replacing Isabella Stringfellow, who has dropped to the bench this afternoon. Light rain just drifting across the venue here at CV Smith Reserve. 12 degrees in Fawkner this afternoon. McKenzie trying to change the direction of the play. Conceded possession to Dashkladova, and now Budiongo out wide. She's already got one, tries the curl over. That's a regulation save for Peyton Woodward. Now Juve going to try and come forward through Grimmer. Butler came under pressure, but still they come forward here. Rammel trying to combine with McKenzie. It's away by Ibrahim. Controlling it is Elisa Smith. Sienna Coppola is going to get there before the byline. And with her hands behind the back, not wanting to risk the handball, was Tamamura. And here's Budiongo, who looks like she's got a tear on the jersey already as well. So certainly the opponents have been keeping well, in fact, it's a bit of strapping underneath that's come loose. So Julie Budiongo, the goal scorer of the goal that separates these two teams this afternoon, just nursing a bit of an injury. And she comes over to the touchline to throw the bandage off the side of the field. Not too sure what kind of injury that would be. Some sort of abdominal muscle perhaps, or lower back or something. Here's Sinclair, keeping the ball in play well. In the classic looking black boots. Not too many of those out there these days. It's a good first touch by Rammel. She can turn and change direction here, looking to switch the play. All over the top is a good one for Butler, but it runs a little bit too long. And that's a good play by Rammel. Really good first touch. Looking to play direct, asking some questions of that Spring Hills defence. Here's Dakic. She's always playing a role where she's sweeping in front of the two central defenders as an extra defensive option that can come into midfield like a traditional libero player. So we'll keep an eye on that function of Natasha Dakic in the team this afternoon. Such a handy player, plenty of experience at higher levels with Western United in the A-League women's competition. Ball played forward here by Jerome Limu. Budyongo, still Julia Budyongo, one way then the other. She's got Olivia Anderson supplying some support there. Decides to use her. Anderson in the pink boots, which matches the shorts. Floats it in towards Sinclair. Sinclair still going. Hard player to stop. And eventually numbers win out for Brunswick Juventus. And the long attempt from Jaren Limo was a harmless one and easily fielded by Woodward. Chia, the captain, under pressure from Ensor. Tamamura's touch. Chia didn't really get a good piece of that one. So if you have just joined us here, 1-0 is the score as it stands here during the first half. Julie Budyongo capitalising on a mistake by Peyton Woodward, closing it down, winning the ball back, and then able to slot into an empty net. Good pressure from Coppola. It's forward by McKeown. Juve just taking their time over this throw-in opportunity as Chia sends the ball down the line. Nathalie Chia, capable of playing in central midfield, as we saw her line up in that role last week. She's seems to be sliding in as a right back this afternoon. The Brunswick Juventus captain. Throwing down the line. Bit of physicality used there by Eden McKeown, and well, referee Shab Saban is not impressed with what she's seen there. And a little bit of a talking to for McKeown. Alexandra Sinclair feeling the full effects of getting a shove into the contest from the big central defender. But she's certainly made of tough stuff, is Alexandra Sinclair. She's going to bounce back up onto her feet and continue here. So free kick is the decision just inside the Brunswick Juventus half. Well, in fact, it's been marched back just inside the Spring Hills half, and Tamamura is going to get us back underway here. Dash Gladova is the short option. Tamamura, as we said, just assisted the goal last week from a deep defensive position for Sinclair. She might go long here again, but decides to switch the play across the surface here from left to right across CV Smith Reserve. Pressure from Layla Butler. The throw goes the way of the visitors. Interesting history between these two sides. It's their first meeting in the top flight of Victorian football, but they've had 5 previous meetings. Brunswick Juventus winning 3 of them. Spring Hills just with a 1 win or 1 draw as well. 3 of those matches took place in the second tier of Victoria's women's competition, the VPLW. Those matches back in 2023, and they met twice in 2022 in the State League 1 competition. One of those matches in that State League contest in 2022 22nd of July 2022, a 5-all draw. Not sure if we'll see as many goals as that this afternoon, but sure any neutrals who've wandered in here into the venue at Faulkner this afternoon at CV Smith Reserve will be hoping to see as many goals as that. That's a good ball by Woodward, and she picks out Nanami. Nanami lining up in a central midfield role. She is again on the ball. This is Grimmer looking down the line. Mackenzie, ball into the box. Sliding in was Geronimo. That's going to be the second corner of the afternoon for Brunswick Juve, and they'll be hoping to not have a repeat of the same fate that they suffered after they took their first one, which was Spring Hills clearing their lines, going up the other end and making it 1-0. So 22 minutes played here at CV Smith Reserve. Not too much in this one so far. Brunswick Juventus have given as good as they've got. They've created a few opportunities. Just haven't quite had the poise in front of goal to create the move, complete the move. As the ball comes in from Grimmer, it's bouncing around the penalty spot. And they're queuing up for it there as well. It's a real scrap, and eventually Alexandra Sinclair makes the clearance. Anderson. Tamamura. Got a good piece of that. That's a really good ball for Dashville over. Keeps it in play. Running at McKeown. Got Olivia Anderson here in support. Will she try and supply the cross here? Back onto that preferred right foot. Tarante Crook. Everyone behind the ball here for Juve. Tamamura's ball was straight to Nathalie Chia. Tamamura. Coppola to try and apply some pressure. Tarante Cook lining up as the right central defender today. Capable of playing as a fullback or a central defender in a back three. And again, Tarante Cook keeps it in play. Dakic is going to bring the ball over to this grandstand side of the venue. Juventus trying to slot into a compact shape without a possession here. Sinclair's picked up a nice little pocket of space and turns her opponent in Chia. Shows her a clean pair of heels, then checks back. Sinclair, still she goes, looking for options. Still looking for options. Ensor. Sinclair went to ground. Ensor from distance. Looked like it was going to trouble Woodward for just a moment, but in the end it was at a comfortable height for Woodward to come and claim. A goalkeeper of her experience. The US college system, Villanova in Pennsylvania, also the Arkansas soccer alumni, recently turned 25, so plenty of experience for Peyton Woodward. Oh, almost an opening there as Rammel tried to feed the pass through to Layla Butler, and here's Butler again here. This is Layla Butler into the penalty area. Can she pull the trigger? Will she try and cut it back? Goes for the unselfish option, and again, it's a really good bit of positioning there by Yukina Tamamura to make the clearance, and that was probably the most threatening opportunity for Brunswick Juventus so far this afternoon, coming in the 25th minute. So still we go. Julia Budyongo's solitary goal of the afternoon separates the two sides. This is good play again by Butler. She's been a live wide on the left-hand side. In a space and time for Enzor to try and clear the lines here. That's a task for Alexandra Sinclair, and it's all black and white shirts back there. Woodward out to get some real distance on the clearance as she went to ground in the process. Tarante's Cook header sat up a little awkwardly, and it's picked up by Butler again here. Butler with her back to goal. Pressure from Tarante Cook looking to make amends for that error. And eventually it'll be a throw going the way of Brunswick Juventus. Just one game so far in the NPLW this weekend. Boroondara Carey Eagles, 2-1 away winners at Kingston Heath against the Bentley Greens last night. A good result for the Boroondara Carey Eagles. Plenty of matches taking place this afternoon. We'll give you some half-time scores in those ones. We've got Alamein against Box Hill United from Dorothy Laver Reserve. That's 4th versus 7th. Also, the FV Academy against the Essendon Royals at the home of the Matildas this afternoon. That's 11th versus 8th. Heidelberg United against the Preston Lions at Olympic Village. That's 3rd versus 6th. Big game tomorrow as well for you coming in round 9 of the competition. South Melbourne, first place South Melbourne tackling 5th placed FC Bulleen Lions. Bulleen Lions looking to climb the ladder with a result there in that fixture at Lakeside Stadium. It's part of a double header. South Melbourne men's playing after that, and well, they're in desperate need of a win in the NPLM. No wins since February for the men's side, so South Melbourne women really leading the charge for the famous blue and white of Hallas so far in 2025. We do bring to a close Female Football Week this week, and what a big week it's been of events for the Football Victoria and women's football in our state here. And Budyongo, look at her go here, charging down the right-hand side. Good bit of defending. Getting back there was Nanami. Budyongo is forced to go back. Providing the support there was Emily Giron-Limo, the right back. But the ball was adjudged to have crossed the touchline. It's going to be a throw going the way of Juve. Here on their home turf, CV Smith Reserve in Fawkner. That's Nanami. This is McKeown. Come and get it's the call. She's looking for options. Might decide to go on a bit of an adventure herself here. Switching it out to that far side. This is Butler. Been really busy in the first half. Nanami trying to pick her pass. It was well cut out by Bozanowski. But her disposal lets her down a fraction there. It's out of play in front of the outstretched right boot of Olivia Anderson. We've seen Olivia Anderson lining up on the left-hand flank often this season. She's starting operating down the right-hand side today. Here's Sinclair, who's been operating down the left-hand side, but also drifting inside. Bozanowski. This is Anderson now. Looking for options. She might go her own way. She's got Grimmer to beat. Looking for space to supply the cross. Good defending from Grimmer to force her back. This is Tarante Crook. You can see both sets of subs over there on the far side warming up on your picture there at home. Ball into the box for Budyongo. It just floated over her head. Almost like she didn't quite manage to track that one on her radar where that was about to land as it floated over the top. A little bit too long. And McKeown. Core. So she's got the 3/4 sleeves on as Navleen Keir. Mackenzie. Trying to play it in behind. It's a good header by Tarante Crook. Mackenzie again racking up possessions here. And a good ball in behind for Butler. Can Butler pull the trigger here? Tries the little swivel on Natasha Dakic. Dakic held her ground well. Butler asking the question of the officials. Dakic telling Butler to get back up off the floor. A couple of half shouts in and around the penalty area for Juve so far this afternoon. Just over half an hour gone. Julia Budyongo's goal separates the two sides. All to play for between these two teams. Coming into this round, Brunswick Juventus dead last in 12th place. Spring Hills in 9th. Just a win apiece for each of these sides in the league so far. Kerr's ball forward. It's a good touch by Rammel. Capola. Now Butler. Good combinations here. Capola plays it into the box. Mackenzie with the flick header. Couldn't direct it on target. But another good move by Juventus, and that might be a few alarm bells ringing there for Tom Markowski and Spring Hills, as they've just had one or two questions asked of their defence in the last few minutes by this side that has struggled to score goals this season. Just the 6 goals they've scored from their 8 matches so far for Brunswick Juventus, 19 against. Spring Hills managed 9 from their 8 games so far and make that 10 once you include Julie Budjongo's goal this afternoon. Here is the goal scorer in possession here. Here's Sinclair. Looking for Ensor, well read, McKeown. I hope you're enjoying this one. Wherever you're tuning in Melbourne or regional Victoria, interstate or abroad, NPLW action coming your way this afternoon on the NPL Victoria live stream. Steve Curtin with you for the call. Jordan behind the camera. Doing our best to keep warm in the broadcast position. And there's plenty of heat coming out of this football match this afternoon. Both sides going hammer and tong at each other. They need the points. Here's Dakic. Tamamura, space and time to look forward. There's plenty of black and white vertical stripes ahead of her. What a good first touch by Sinclair. Turning back the clock as she plays the ball down the flank for Anderson. Plays it into the box. Budjongo was the target. Ensor was arriving as well, but there was enough black and white shirts back there to win the ball back. Bozanowski competing for it in midfield. Now Butler in possession here for Juve. Down the line. Groomer providing the overlap from left back. It ran a little bit too long for her. As the left back has to drop back into position. Tamamura. And there's no one there for Spring Hills. We are down to 11 degrees here in Fawkner now, so temperature dropping 1 degree since kickoff. Hopefully we won't drop any further. Here's Rammel. Oh, good defending, Tarante Crook. Can they turn defence into attack here? Or perhaps it's going to be Juve winning the ball back through Elisa Smith in her milestone game 50 in NPLW this afternoon, winning the ball back in midfield. She's really held her position in that central area of the park really well so far this afternoon, alongside Shishido Nanami. Tamamura. Just trying to bait some of these Juve attackers out of their defensive shape perhaps, and then go in behind, which is what they're going to do now. Sinclair is an awkward one to control. The technique was pretty good, but it was a heavy touch in the end and out of play. That one's out of play off Coppola. It was played into her from Alyssa Smith like a bit of a bullet. Sinclair brings it down. Budjongo's going to give chase here. It's away by Woodward. Good composure between Woodward and Madeline Coeur. Smith's ball through. Rammel's the target. Too much on it once again. Just some of those opportunities with the through balls for Juve. Just need a little bit of pace taken off the pass, or a bit of angle away from the goalkeeper. Things might be different on the scoreboard. As it is, it's Budjongo's goal. Sees us with Spring Hills leading by 1-0. Here's Anderson, low cross into the top of the box. There's acres of space there, and McKenzie can pick up the loose ball to combine with McKeown. And again, not the first time we've seen one of the passes just a little bit overhit, so it's a fast track out there despite the heavy surface with the rain that we've seen. Under real pressure there was Chia, but she passed the test with flying colours as Juve are able to play out from the back. Bosanowski. No way past Eden McKeown. Here's Dakic for Spring Hills. Looking to stride over the halfway line. Anderson, good first touch. Plenty of Juve players back in defence here. Good pressure from Nanami to win it back. Still she goes, Nanami. Looking for Coppola. It ricochets back to Nanami. Coppola again the target. Unable to find the further advanced player there for Juve. Now Rammel, number 9, who's dropped a little deeper here to get on the ball. Grimmer. Rammel again under pressure from Ensor. Ensor and Rammel both go to ground, and referee sub on as a judge. That to be a free kick going the way of the hosts, Brunswick Juve. Peyton Woodward's going to take this free kick right on the paint of the halfway line here in the middle of CB Smith Reserve. Inside 10 minutes, still half-time. Hope you're enjoying this one. NPLW Saturday afternoon football. Round 9 of the competition. Ball into the box. It's going to bounce here. It's going to go all the way through. And would you believe it? Peyton Woodward has made amends for her mistake. And she's scored direct from a free kick from the halfway line. Jenna Ibrahim hopelessly caught out by the bounce of the ball. And that is one to look back again on your replay screen. As you can see, the Juventus bench, they are up and about. They are absolutely pumped because the American has got herself on the score sheet. They haven't scored too many this season. It's only their 7th of the campaign. And it's a tremendous moment for Peyton Woodward, showing her outfield players how it's done. And there's an inquisition going on for Spring Hills. But Juventus are in dreamland here. After this free kick, we'll look at it again on the replay screen here. Peyton Woodward driving it. She gets so much distance on the kick. It bounces in the penalty area. It evades everybody. And it's straight into the back of the net for 1-1. Goalkeeper goal alert here at CB Smith Reserve in the NPLW. Peyton Woodward bringing this game to life. In the shadows of halftime, we have a 1-1 game. Well, who could have seen that coming? The American goalkeeper from long range scores from halfway. And here she is on the ball here, the goal scorer. Look at that distance on that kick once again. That's a good, strong header, Tarante Crook. So Spring Hills looked like they might have been coasting with the early goal by Budyongo, but that makes things very interesting now. You can see Juventus getting their tails up a fraction here after that goal. Spurred on. It's a bit of inspiration from the goalkeeper, the goal-scoring goalkeeper, Peyton Woodward. Perhaps some of Peyton's family tuning in from the United States. I hope the time difference isn't too difficult for you this afternoon. Oh, Budyongo's in here. Play on was the call from the referee, and Peyton Woodward heroics again. As we said, maybe some family and friends from the States tuning in. Probably in the middle of the night there as well, if depending on what state you're in, which time zone you're in the United States, but be looking on proudly. Seeing Peyton Woodward on the score sheet this afternoon, the goal-scoring goalkeeper. Here's Alyssa Smith in game number 50 in the NPLW as the rain comes down again here. Difficult conditions for the players and officials out there in the middle. We're glad to be under cover here in the broadcast position. It's a scrap in the middle of the park. Tarante Crook. Back to Ibrahim, who will be furious at herself after getting beaten by opposite number from the halfway line. So much pace on the shot. Once it bounced, pitched on the wet surface, it just skidded through the air, nestled into the back of the net in the top right corner. Here's Smith sliding in with Sinclair. That's an expertly timed sliding tackle by the veteran. And here's Anderson looking to run it. Nanami plays it in top of the box, but it's only Elisa Smith there to pick up the ball. It's a bit of a gift to her in game number 150. And Capola got a couple of options here. Butler was one of them. Butler looks to have switched across to the right-hand flank for the moment. Those two players, Capola and Butler, switching wings just to try and ask some questions of this Spring Hills defence. And that ball's out of play needlessly by McKeown. Rain getting heavier here. Winter football has arrived in Melbourne, make no mistake. Ensor. Dakic. Kicked out well by Grimmer. Rammel. Looking for options. Capola. Well, it's a feature of the play that we've seen from Juve. At times, the fullback and the winger swapping positions there, Capola and Grimmer exchanging positions temporarily, more so than a genuine mid-phase of play overlap. So I'm just trying to just catch out some of the Spring Hill defensive players. If you catch them out of position, catch them not concentrating in the latter minutes of the first half. So certainly some smart play there from Brunswick Juventus' coach, Justin Laria. His assistant this afternoon, George Katiforis. Rain getting heavier here. That's a good first touch there by Dashkalova. Dashkalova again, looking to try and supply the cross here. Sasha Dashkalova floating it into the box. Anderson is there. The first touch went up in the air. And eventually there's no harm done for Juve as it runs through to Woodward. Only a couple of minutes till half-time, and you wonder if the fourth official might just not worry about putting up the board here to add on any additional time, because these players and officials are going to want to get off the pitch pretty quickly as this rain is still coming down. Dashkalova. Free kick goes her way. There's Butler coming in to put the pressure on. And the Stallions got the decision that they wanted. Well, 1-1 here in the shadows of halftime. Julia Budyongo on the score sheet, as well as Peyton Woodward. That is correct, the goalkeeper, scoring from halfway from a free kick for Brunswick Juventus this afternoon, levelling things up at 1-1. Here's Sienna Capola. Can't miss her in the gloves and the green boots with the socks down out there. Certainly looks the part, dressed like a player who's enjoying getting on the ball. Mackenzie's defensive work is good, denying Sinclair. Well, the fans here are grateful of the large roof canopy on the grandstand here at CV Smith Reserve. As it's raining cats and dogs here, if you can't tell on the live stream, it is really coming down here. And our fourth official is about to indicate added time, and he has gone for the additional minute, has Jordan Spetzer. So just the extra 60 seconds for these players and officials before they can disappear down to the tunnel. They're going to be absolutely drenched when they arrive in the dressing room. Is there time for a late attack here for Budyongo? Goes past Chia. Chia tracks back again. Ball inside. This is Dakic, who's again stepped out of that defensive line. In fact, it was Ensor, now Dakic on the ball. Out wide is Rammel. And again, Juve players exchanging positions. It's not quite total football, but they're definitely in the game here at 1-1. Could they muster up their second win of the season this afternoon? Certainly a match that Spring Hills would have penciled in for a win going into this contest. But at half-time at CB Smith Reserve, we're deadlocked at 1-1 as the rain just starts to ease up a little bit as both sets of players prepare to head down the tunnel. And there's congratulations going on for Peyton Woodward as the celebrations are going on with some of the substitutes running out off the bench to congratulate her on her goal, her first goal for her new club this season. And what a feat from the goalkeeper. Caught in possession by Julia Budyongo and can... One all. Hello and welcome back to CB Smith Reserve. It is the NPLW Round 9 Saturday afternoon football coming to you on a cold afternoon here in Fawkner, and we're back out on the pitch here for the second 45. These teams are locked at 1-1, both of them desperate for their second win of season 2025. Spring Hills just the one win, and it was a resounding win back in March against the Essendon Royals. Brunswick Juventus, their only win this season, came against the youngsters from the FV Academy. Got a couple of scores from around the grounds as well. At Dorothy Laver Reserve, it's the hosts leading 1-0 against Box Hill United at half-time. And over at Bundoora, at the home of the Matildas this afternoon, it is the FV Academy trailing Essendon Royals 3-1. As the floodlights are turned on here for the second half, 4 o'clock local time it is, and the days are getting shorter, but this overcast sky has certainly played a role in the need for the candles to come on for the second 45. Bit of a false start for you as we try and get things underway for the second half here. We hope you enjoy this one's second half. Thanks for your company. Steve Curtin with you this afternoon on the NPL Victoria live stream. This match, the goal scorers, Julia Budyongo on 7 minutes, capitalising on a Peyton Woodward mistake, but then Peyton Woodward making amends, the goalkeeper scoring on 38 minutes. We'll pause here because it's a good attacking opportunity for Juve, and Nanami's going to win the corner kick here. So first attacking opportunity, the second 45 falls the way of the hosts here, Brunswick Juventus. It's going to be Natalie Grimmer to take the corner kick here. It's the in-swinger. Ibrahim comes to claim. You hear the call was keeper. Just about clear their lines. Back to Grimmer. Checks back onto her preferred right boot here. Smith, good little ball through. Grimmer's in here, sliding in though. It was Alexandra Sinclair. Not for the first time this afternoon we've seen her sliding in to make the challenge. Decent first touch there by Holly Spasato, who's entered the fray at halftime as Holly Spasato, making her 8th appearance of the season. She scored 24 goals in the VPL Reserves season last year. And she gets her opportunity. The crowd not happy with the assistant referee's decision there to award the throw into the home side. Nanami switching the play. Chia. And now Mackenzie. Pozanowski trying to apply the pressure, but Mackenzie's able to wriggle out of it and play the ball forward. It bounces and skids across the wet turf here. Ferrante Crooks conceded it to Butler here. Layla Butler. Ferrante Cook, good duel between those two. So yes, if you have just joined us, we had a goalkeeper goal alert here in the NPLW this afternoon. I think it might be the first one of the season. Season 2025. Peyton Woodward, the American. She's a prodigious kick, a booming kick of the football, and she placed down the free kick to take it from the halfway line. It bounced in the penalty area. It skidded off the turf and into the back of the net. Straight past Jenna Ibrahim. Levelling things up at 1-1. Plenty of excitement here. The Brunswick Juventus players were up and about, both those on the pitch and all of the players and staff in the technical area too. Goalkeeper goal, well and truly worthy of something that clears the bench and that kind of celebration. Here's Budyongo, the scorer of Spring Hill's goal. Spasato trying to play the little ball through on the edge of the area. A lot of taping has gone onto the left leg of Olivia Anderson at halftime. Didn't notice her sporting all of that strapping tape in the first half around the knee, the left knee. So just Physios have been busy working on these players at half-time. Olivia Anderson definitely one of them. That's good play by Sinclair. A bit of bullocking work in the centre of the field, but winning the ball back. And here's Anderson competing for the ball with Grimmer. And Grimmer's done well here, done really well. Really well has Natalie Grimmer. Rammel. Not quite the right path, but luck's a fortune as it ricochets back to her. Still Rammel. Butler. Out wide as Grimmer, the left back getting forward, but she's been adjudged to have been in an offside position when the ball was played through to her there. That is a needless, frustrating free kick for Juve to give away when they were putting some pressure on the Spring Hills defence. That's a good header again by Grimmer, who looks up and smiles back into the fans in the grandstand here after winning that header. Good duel between her and Anderson. Butler, good control here. Pressure from Toronto Cook and turns away from it though. Rammel, now Butler again. Dakic is going to just put this one out of play, is she? In fact, it's a whistle. It's not a lot in it, but it's a free kick going the way of Spring Hills. Another opportunity to press the button on the pressure relief valve there for the Spring Hills defence. Well, locked at 1-1. Really interestingly poised this second half here. I hope you're enjoying this action. It's a wet and cold Saturday afternoon in Melbourne's north. Floodlights on here at CV Smith Reserve. This is Sinclair. It's a good ball through by the Spring Hills captain, Anderson. Pressure from Grimmer. Can Anderson supply the cross here? Nanami in to put the tackle in, and Nanami eventually tries to clear it away. Sinclair picks up the loose ball. Sinclair towards the byline, plays in the cross. Winding up for it was Ensor. And it comes from Anderson. Budyongo's at the back post. Budyongo's header. And flags up for offside against Julia Budyongo. Good ball in by Anderson. Budyongo able to win the free header at the back post area. Looked like the attempt was going to be on target, but for the fact that it was flagged offside. And Olivia Anderson is down on her haunches here, so I hope she's going to be okay to continue. But there's going to be, well, there is going to be a change taking place here, and it looks like it's going to be Toronto Cook is the player coming off. She's going to be replaced by Chelsea De Silva. Making her first appearance in the senior team for Spring Hills is Chelsea De Silva in the number 36. She's going to get an opportunity here on the right-hand side of the defence. Matching up against the dangerous Layla Butler. And here's her first touch here for De Silva. De Silva with the throw. It goes in behind Naveline Kaur. Peyton Woodward. Oh, she might have come unstuck here. Oh, and luck's a fortune for Peyton Woodward this time as she's able to make amends and pick up the loose ball after her clearance was initially blocked and started to head goal bound. Chia. Nanami. Here's De Silva. Tamamura, plenty of space and time. Juve players happy to sit off and wait for a mistake by the Spring Hills players. A little bit too much purchase on the pass there from Anderson. De Silva back to Tamamura. Switches it out wide to Budyongo. A real arm wrestle in this second half here at CV Smith Reserve. Light rain falling again. We had a real deluge before the halftime break. The fans here at halftime, you can see, grateful to be undercover and then also have the nice facilities indoors to go and warm up with something warm to drink in the break and get out of the weather during the interval as Budyongo is going to continue charging down the left-hand flank here. Looking inside, here's Mona Ensor. Anderson's touch was to the benefit of the Brunswick Juve defenders and they're able to clear their lines. There's Natasha Dakic. That's direct football from Dakic looking for Sinclair. Keown goes back to Woodward, who puts the 7-iron under that one. Just hangs in the air. Spring Hills substitutes going through some warm-up routines over there. The tracksuit pants are out. That's the kind of conditions that we're seeing today. Players really needing to keep warm as they prepare to come on in the second half. A difficult day to be coming off the bench in these sort of conditions. 11 degrees here in Fawkner. Light rain at the moment. Slight delay, and then the Captain Chi is about to get us going again here with the throw. Sinclair back to goal. Draws a crowd. Bozanowski. Tamamura. Now Dakic as they look to switch the play down to the right-hand side. Here's the substitute to Silva. Miscontrolled that one, but Spring Hills will regain possession. Solid challenge from Layla Butler, and it's out of play in front of the grandstand. Plenty of encouragement for both sets of players out there from the fans who've gathered here this afternoon. Showing some good support when they might have been better advised to stay at home in the warm conditions. They've come out and supported the girls here. And as we wrap up Female Football Week in Victoria, and what a special week it is every year, every May, where we celebrate Female Football Week. Here's Alexandra Sinclair trying her luck at the near post. And at full stretch, it's Peyton Woodward making a fine save. With an outstretched left arm to tip it behind for a Spring Hills corner kick. Alexandra Sinclair just getting into those spaces and asking questions of the Brunswick Juventus defenders again. And it's going to be the central defender, Natasha Dakic, to take the corner kick here. It's not that often that you see central defenders taking the corner kicks, but it does happen time to time. Now, Holly Spasowski has got her back to the play here as she looks to put the goalkeeper off. In the end, it was all academic as the ball didn't really travel into trouble. Peyton Woodward, after all, and Holly Spasato turning around and facing the play as the ball did come in. Here's Butler. It's a direct ball forward. That's a clever touch off her back there by Sienna Coppola, and she plays it out wide. She is ball forward. Again, it's just too direct. Too much verticality on the pass as it just runs in a straight line towards Jenna Ibrahim in the Spring Hills goal. Dakic's ball forward. Sinclair was the target, I think, but certainly a lot of power behind, a lot of gusto. And it ricocheted back in favour of the Juventus attackers. Here's Spasato. Pressure from McKeown, who grabs a hold of Spasato's arm, but Spasato kept her feet and kept the move going for Spring Hills as they continue to enjoy the possession here through Tamamura. Very elegant on the ball as she strides up to the halfway line. Spasato trying the 1-2. Trying the 1-2 with Dashkalova, but it's out of play near the scoreboard, which does read Brunswick Juventus 1, Spring Hills 1. Budyongo and Peyton Woodward, the goal scorers. Yes, you heard that correctly. We have a goalkeeper goal this afternoon in this clash. Sinclair charging down the left flank, drawing a crowd. Budyongo's the beneficiary of that little pocket of space as she fires at goal from outside the penalty area, and it's off target. Alexandra Sinclair so confident on the ball. The balance that she has is second to none. She can draw those defenders and just ride the challenges, and then, as you see there, play the ball to a player who's benefiting from that open space that Alexandra Sinclair draws players out of when she's in possession. Woodward going long again. Ball's out of play right in front of the players' race here. There's the marshal in front of us, looks to play ball boy. A bit of disgruntlement from the grandstand as to the award of the throw going the way of Juve. Grimmer. Dakic wins it back. Oh, well played by Smith. Smith in game 50, finds Rammel. Rammel, slaloming run by Rammel, away by Tamamura, back to Smith again. Good contest here. Dashkalova's ball forward towards Budyongo. McKeown. She might have been fouled by Sinclair. Advantage is the call here. Here's Coppola in the centre of CV Smith's reserves. Smith's ball forward. And the throw goes the way of Spring Hills this time. Sasha Dashkalova to take. The group of players warming up there in the orange vest on the far side is the Brunswick Juventus substitutes, looking to get a piece of the action this afternoon. Make sure that they're warm when they're called upon. It's no mean feat today. It's forward by Dakic, over the top of two opponents in black and white, but it was judged to have been a little bit of a shove there by Alexandra Sinclair. So the free kick's going to go the way of Brunswick Juventus, and perhaps this is a little bit too far out for an attempt on goal by Peyton Woodward, but stranger things have happened. We've seen her score from the halfway line today. She's going to drive this one long, try and cause a bit of chaos in the Spring Hills penalty area. It bounces and skids off the surface. Well read Tamamura. Cool and calm in a crisis back there is the Japanese defender. So the throw in the advanced position here for Brunswick Juventus. Chasing what would be a special win if they can grab a second goal here and hold out the Spring Hill side. To say the defence for Brunswick Juventus has been pretty solid this afternoon. They haven't conceded too many opportunities to Spring Hills, really, and apart from the mistake that led to Spring Hills' only goal of this afternoon, they've been pretty solid back there. Here's Sinclair, the dancing feet, but unable to continue the slaloming run around Natalie Grimmer in the gloves. She takes the throw. Butler's the target. De Silva. Well played by young Chelsea De Silva. Dakic's ball over the top. Budyongo brings it down. Julia Budyongo. Pressure from McKeown was enough to put her off the opportunity. Woodward with the drop kick. Oh, it was a bit of a mistake by Tamamura, and Rammel could be in here. Rammel looking to surge past the back line. This is Anastasia Rammel coming out of her box to try and smother the opportunity. It was Jenna Ibrahim. Rammel still getting herself back up onto her feet. She might have lost her boot in the process here. Here's Alyssa Smith. So another good moment for Brunswick Juventus, who, if they were to go on and score a second goal here, you'd have to say that they'd be good value for it as well. They've worked hard to create chances in the final third this afternoon. Their only goal coming from set piece. They'll be looking to add an open play goal to that. And, well, Anastasia Rammel there was certainly causing some problems for the Spring Hill Central defenders. Here's Anderson, who's now drifted back out to the left-hand side to play as the inverted winger out there. Chia. Nanami's ball forward. Butler. Rammel now. Rammel with a nutmeg on Bozanovsky. Looking to play it through to Butler. Well read. Tamamura. Flags up against Holly Sposato, who was returning from an offside position. Yellow card's going to be out here for the Spring Hills coach. It looks like it's a yellow card for Tom Markowski for dissent at that decision. Referee Shab Sivan was quick to draw the yellow card out of the pocket and put in a sprint over to the Spring Hills technical area to show the caution to their manager, Tom Markowski. Here's Woodward again with the long ball. If it's bouncing in, well played Tamamura. Didn't allow it to bounce. That's what brought Spring Hills undone on the 38th minute. Sposato, what a great first touch. She's got Sinclair riding shotgun here. That's slaloming around. Here's Enzor. She's got Budyongo to her right. Outside of the foot twist off there. Looking to change the direction of the attack. Out to the scoreboard side. Tamamura. Again, just assessing the options. Decides to go direct. Is that the best approach? Perhaps not, as it bounces through to Woodward. Budyongo was the target of the direct ball, but well-organised Juve defence can deal with opportunities like that all day, you fancy. Nanami. McKeown now. Good tempo to this game in the second half here. Chilly afternoon, but certainly a good temperature for the players to play a hard and fast contest without cooking themselves in some of the warmer weather that we've seen in the early parts of the season. Ms. McKenzie. Diana McKenzie with a curler. Needed to get it out and around a bit further towards that top right-hand corner to test Jenna Ibrahim there. Nonetheless, another attempt on target for Juve. Another warning shot fired. Here's Anderson on the halfway line. Smith's going to try and shield this one. Got a bit of a shove from her opponent. Didn't appreciate that. And a bit of afters here between Chia and Anderson. Right in front of the fourth official there, Jordan Spetzer, who's keeping an eye on things between the technical areas over there. Over there between the VO cams. Thanks to the coaches of both sides for agreeing to set up the VO cams on the far side of the pitch this afternoon. Certainly make Peyton Woodward's goal look a lot better on the replay. Core. The long sleeves, one way then the other. McKenzie. Well read by Julia Budyongo. De Silva all the way back to the keeper and Ibrahim. De Silva asking for options. Good switch of play. Tamamura. So good striding forward on the ball is Tamamura. Playing it through, looking for Ensor, but straight to the Juve captain in Chia, and that header by Dakic is straight to McKenzie. Well, she had Coppola out wide right and didn't use her. Frustrating for Coppola, but perhaps they can still mount the attack here. Here's Rammel. Well, tried the shot when the shot wasn't really on, to be honest there. And Spring Hills can counter here, so this game getting a tempo of a little bit of end-to-end action. One team goes forward, makes a little bit of an error trying to get into the final third, and the other team can look to springboard the other way. But just as I say that, perhaps I've put the commentator's curse on Spring Hill, who've decided to just go for a slower build-up this time. The ball forward by Chelsea De Silva was unable to link up with anyone in white and pink further afield. Bozanowski's header. McKeown, Smith, and then couldn't quite find her captain there. And Nathalie Chia, the right back this afternoon for Brunswick Juventus. Sinclair goes to ground under the challenge from McKeown. They've had a couple of duels this afternoon. McKeown's going to go into the book for that one. And Sinclair staying down, and the trainer's going to come out here to offer some support as the trainer's putting in a bit of a sprint to get onto the park here too. Into the 70th minute here at CB Smith Reserve. 20 to go. We're not quite at the next goal wins point, but you do fancy whoever can get themselves into an ascendancy of 2-1 here. Would be looking very good to get the 3 points for the second time this season, both of these sides. Just sitting on the 1 win, 3 points here would be invaluable to try and keep themselves, or get themselves out of the bottom 2. As we said, Spring Hills played some good football this season, but they come into this match in 9th place. Brunswick Juventus coming into the match bottom of the table in 12th. Striving to, as we say, get out of the bottom 2 or stay out of the bottom 2, depending on their predicament. Leading into this one, we await the taking of this free kick. It's going to be Natasha Dakic to send it in. The defensive line is just inside the 18-yard box. It's a useful ball lining up. Bozanowski was close to nodding it in. Couldn't make good contact. Really good ball by Dakic, to be fair. Budiongo, and offside is the decision once again against Spring Hills. The girls from Springside Recreation Reserve out in Carey's flag once again. Giselle Spetzer and Natalie Finlay are the assistants patrolling the touchlines this afternoon. Assisting Shab Saban in central referee role. Jordan Spetzer, the 4th official on the far side. Be wishing he had a shelter over there in the middle of the 2 technical areas. He's just exposed to the elements over there on the far side as Jordan Spetzer. Doing a good job of keeping things under wraps on the far side, as there's been a bit of feeling in this match at times between the players and the officials over there. Sienna Coppola, it's a great first touch, and she can turn and motor forward here. This is great play by Sienna Coppola down the right-hand side for Juve. Looking into the middle, playing it in there, and Ibrahim out at full stretch. Good goalkeeping there, you have to say. Looking for Butler was the cross there. Layla Butler was making good position, but Coppola, after a great build-up, was unable to apply the killer pass there to find Butler in the penalty area. Nonetheless, another warning shot there, really, from Brunswick Juventus, figuratively more so than literally. Ball in behind here is designed for Budiongo, but Grimmer's going to get there first. Budiongo got a touch, and it's going to be a goal kick here. Alexandra Sinclair just feeling her right ankle a touch. It's a couple of plays feeling the pace of this game. You can see Anastasia Rammel is out stretching out the calves, worrying about the likelihood of a bit of cramp kicking in. As this match continues, the subs continue to warm up inside the last 20. All to play for between these two sides. 3 points is vital. NPLW action coming your way. Saturday afternoon football from CB Smith Reserve. Steve Curtin with you. Thank you for your company wherever you're tuning in this afternoon. Whether you're in Melbourne, regional Victoria, interstate or abroad. Got a hot contest out in the middle on a cold afternoon. Here's Sinclair. Spasato. Juve again getting back and defending well. Chia. And that'll be a Juve throw as well, as the deflection came off a Spring Hills player. We're going to get a change here, and that is the end of the afternoon for Anastasia Rummel. We said she's been stretching away at those calves in the last 10 minutes or so. So her afternoon is done, and it's going to be an opportunity for Samira Rex-Heppy, the 19-year-old, who has 1 goal to her name in the league so far this season. Scored 1 as well with Effie emerging last year, and junior of South Melbourne. back in her younger days. Not that she's not still young now. It's just 19 years of age, as we say. So getting the chance off the bench after being in the starting 11 last week in the number 10 jersey out there. Juve doing the defending here. Here's Chia. Well played by Chia. Here's Alyssa Smith, and her pass is not on the same wavelength as the run from her captain there. Out of play over near the scoreboard on the far side, so it's still 1-1. And if you have just joined us, it was Julia Budjongo on 7 minutes, and then Peyton Woodward, the American goalkeeper, scoring from a free kick on the halfway line. One to go back and watch on the highlights reel later on today or during the week, that one. To see, always good to see a goalkeeper goal in the NPLW. Here's De Silva. Spasato kept it in play, did she? In fact, it's out, but it's going to be a throw going the way of Spring Hills. I think Juve felt that it was their ball there, but, well, look at Natalie Grimmer is looking perplexed at the assistant referee. So De Silva's going to take the throw here, the substitute. Budjongo's the target. A little pressure from Kaur from behind. McKenzie. Well played again by Diana McKenzie. Chelsea De Silva. Butler's pressure sees it out of play for a Spring Hills throw. Grimmer. All the way through to Tamamura, who always just seems to have so much space and time. Ball over the top. Sinclair was the most likely. Gives the thumbs up to her teammate. Woodward goes with the drop kick again. Daskadova's touch, and then Ensor. Good flick on by Sinclair for Budjongo, looking to touch it past Kaur. And Nanami, and tries the curler, Budjongo, but knowing where her posts are there was Woodward. Not needing to throw herself at that one, as she knew it was going wide. Well inside the last 15 here. That's a good touch by the substitute, Rex Heppy. Still she goes, Rex Heppy. Nice change of direction and looking to switch the play towards Capola. A little bit of a mistake in the Spring Hills defence here. Could open the door for Butler. Tried the attempt, but it was blocked not once but twice on its route towards the goal. Butler. Rex Heppy. Pressure from Budjongo. Nanami now. Kaur. McKenzie. Intensity going up a notch here at CV Smith. McKeown's ball over the top. Eventually, Sasha Daskalova sees it out of play. Kapola's touch. Rex Heppy. Rex Heppy off the crossbar. Ibrahim with the crucial touch onto the frame of the goal. What a moment that could have been for Juve. Rex Heppy saw the opportunity. Didn't need a second invitation there. Good attempt on goal. And couldn't have come much closer to scoring there, the substitute. It was a really good first touch. Looking back at the replay there. Got a good arc to her run. Was able to get her out of her feet and really put the laces through it. Fingertip save. Jenna Ibrahim into the crossbar. Sees the score remain at 1-1 between these two sides. They've been so evenly matched this afternoon. Ensor. Tamamura, the central defender, getting involved in the attack here. Extra numbers coming forward for Spring Hills. They want to get the 3 points here. again, a bit more conjecture about the awarding of the throw-in. It's going to go to Juve. Natalie Grimmer to take. De Silva's throw. Good first touch by Sinclair. Pressure from Smith. Sinclair tries to charge towards the byline, sliding in. Well timed again, Elisa Smith. It's been a busy afternoon in central midfield for Elisa Smith in game number 50 at NPLW level this afternoon, as the rain is heading back in and looks like it's going to settle in here for the final 10 minutes at CB Smith. Strap yourselves in. This could be a high-octane finish here as Dakic's corner comes in. It's in the 6-yard box. It's a scrap. It's a scramble. And it's a free kick to Brunswick Juventus. The referee coming to the aid there of the host, Chab Saban, sounding the whistle. And Juve grateful to be able to clear their lines here through the goal-scoring goalkeeper, Peyton Woodward. Here's Mackenzie. What a great first touch. Oh, the pass was causing a few heart palpitations from the home fans in the grandstand. Grimmer bounced up higher than I think she expected. She was able to nod it towards Butler. Pressure from Spasato. Nanami. McKeown looking to play the direct ball through, and it might have got in behind the line, the defensive line here. This is Capola. Can she cut it back to a player in a black and white shirt? It's Mackenzie! What a great combination by Juve down the right-hand side. And Diana McKenzie gets the go-ahead goal. And could that be the goal that gets Brunswick Juventus off the bottom of the table here with their second win of the season, perhaps incoming? Inside the final 10 minutes. A flowing move down the right-hand side. And hats off to the wide player there. And Sienna Capola. She's put in an eye-catching performance down the right-hand side in this second half. Similar opportunity earlier. This time, picked her pass perfectly. Perfect cutback. And Diana McKenzie, the former Melbourne University goal machine in the VPLW, puts her name up in lights here at CB Smith Reserve for Brunswick Juventus. What a moment. Justin Laria be absolutely pumped to see his girls hit the lead here in this one. Tamamura. They've got to hold on though now. It's going to be all hands to the pump, you fancy, as the rain gets heavier here at CB Smith. Proper winter football coming your way. We're not quite in winter yet, but we've had an autumn that's felt like summer, which adds to the contrast of this afternoon's weather conditions. Wet and wild here. Saturday afternoon football. I hope you're staying warm and enjoying this action wherever you're tuning in this afternoon. That's all to do now for Spring Hills. And they're going to make a change here. And it's going to be Holly Spasato, the halftime sub, who's going to be replaced. And it looks like it'll be Emily Tanaka to enter the fray here. So a change in the attack. Perhaps an attacker for a midfielder. Emily Tanaka. A bit of extra technical skill perhaps in there. In that sort of number 10 role. Tamamura, the central defender, who looks like she's gone forward as an auxiliary attacker for the last 10 minutes. Well, Holly Spasato looks a little bit perplexed as she makes the long walk around the far side of the pitch after being substituted. Probably thought she was safe to assume she was going to get the full 45 after coming on at halftime. So Juve in the lead here, only for the second time this season. Could they be singing the team song, belting it out in the change rooms at full time? They were celebrating hard after Peyton Woodward got herself on the score sheet. The goal-scoring goalkeeper now. That's what she's going to be known as. Not long before half-time. And here's a chance. So the ball floated in. Woodward to block the cross from Tanaka. Just on 5 minutes plus stoppages to go here. Here's Sinclair. And it's well played by Nanami. Puts it out for a corner though, so nervous times here for Juve. Wet conditions. Everyone's going to be back in the defensive position here. For Juve, only Sienna Coppola, the assister of the previous goal. The player credited with the assist of the previous goal is the only one outside the penalty area, and that is a wasteful corner by Natasha Dakic. Well, that won't impress the manager. Tom Markowski shaking his head over there in the technical area as that one never came in play. And if you have just tuned in, don't adjust your sets. Brunswick Juventus lead this one 2-1. The bottom side of the competition. And with the other results so far this weekend, with Bentley Greens losing last night, and if the FV Academy is still losing as they were at halftime, 3-1 to Essendon, this would see Brunswick Juventus jump out of the bottom two and into 10th place. And there's another change for Spring Hills, and it's the end of the afternoon for Olivia Anderson, who's got the heavy strapping on the left knee, and she's replaced by Charlie Stefanowski. Hope there's no serious dramas with Olivia Anderson's left knee. Seem to be moving pretty uninhibited in the second half after having that heavily strapped at halftime. Chia with the throw. Lights really taking full effect here at CB Smith. Ensor's header. Sinclair's touch. It's out of play, and it's going to be a throw to Juve. Time starting to be the enemy now of Spring Hills. 87 minutes have elapsed here. She is going to take her time over this restart. Sends it down the line now. It's looking for Rex Heppy. There's plenty of white and pink there to mop up the loose ball here. Natasha Dakic wants to keep it in play. She does. She's going to send it long and direct. Sinclair again, as so often is the case, is the target of this one. She had Tanaka there, the substitute for support. It's out of play. Budyongo. Sinclair again. Still she goes. Got a bit of a shove and whistle on play. Free kick going the way of Spring Hills. So a chance for the set piece opportunity here. Natasha Dakic over to take this one. She needs to take it pretty quickly as well. Sienna Coppola told to get back 10 yards by referee Saban. And all of the defensive line is congregating on the edge of the 18-yard box here. All about the quality of the set piece here from Dakic. Oh, it's a little bit of a shallow one. Headed by Nanami. Sinclair's there. And it almost broke for the substitute Stefanowski. Budyongo. This is Stefanowski with the socks down here. De Silva. The two subs combining. Oh, it's an awkward one here for Grimmer. Tamamura. Budyongo now. Oh, there's hardly any space there for these Spring Hill players to try and create an opportunity. All hands to the pump for Juve, getting numbers back behind the ball, and they win out again. Juve forced to go back. Daskalova, Dakic. Spring Hills need a moment of magic here. Who can inspire them? Tanaka, the substitute. Oh, and it's out of play, and it's a Juve throw. As we head into the final minute here of regulation time. There won't be too much added you fancy. There's been a few subs in the second half, yes, and there's been the one goal by Diana McKenzie. We're going to see that change now, and it is the end of the afternoon for Sienna Coppola, and she's going to be replaced by the 19-year-old midfielder Natasha Colosimo. Another one of these players who spent several years at Calder United. Well, we will await the fourth officials board here, Jordan Spetzer, to indicate how much time is going to be added at the end of the 90, which we are about to tick into now. 3 or 4 minutes might be the maximum you fancy here that Spring Hills will have left to try and conjure up something to get themselves a point out of this game. It's going to be 3 minutes. 3 minutes of added time. There's only 3 minutes for Juve to hold on to their second win of the season. They haven't even managed to draw this season. It's just been 1 win and 7 losses. This would make things a lot more respectable here. A hard-fought win it will be if they're able to hang on. Tough conditions, character-building afternoon. Spring Hills' whole journey this afternoon have looked to have been maybe a touch above in class, but it's Juve's application this afternoon that's been the difference. Out of play, and we're going to need to call on one of the staff in the technical area to work as ball boy here, because that ball's gone out over the top of the fence and onto pitch number 2. Oh, it's a Juve throw. I'm not sure what the Spring Hills players were thinking about trying to take that one. So Chia takes the throw. Here's the goal scorer, McKenzie. Trying to play the ball into the box. They're queuing up for it. It's just about cleared away by the Spring Hills defence. And here's Grimmer receiving the ball in the central area. They've given it away, though. Again, Sinclair's the target. Nanami, good defensive work from her, but Spring Hills have got to get some players up the park here. Time ticking away. We've only got about 1 minute left, really, of stoppage time. And we're at the discretion of referee Shab Saban. Budjongo, Sinclair, a telling cross is required here. And it's well cleared away again by that Juve defence. That was Samira Rex happy with the clearance. Nanami, anywhere will do now for Juve. 2.5 minutes have elapsed out of that extra 3 minutes of added time. Tamamura tries her luck on the volley. And Peyton Woodward can go to ground here, and that'll just about do it. She's told to get a move on by referee Saban. It's been a slog, this match this afternoon. Peyton Woodward's been at the core of some of the key moments in this match. And she'll remember that goal that she scored from the halfway line for the rest of her career and beyond, that is for sure. A memorable moment as we have full time. It's home sweet home here for Brunswick Juventus. They get their second win of the season and they climb off the bottom of the NPLW.
Full time, Brunswick Juventus 1, Spring Hills Football Club 2-1 win.
It was a tough encounter. They had to slog it hard in the cold and the rain. But it's in the end, after Julia Budjongo opened the scoring on 7 minutes, capitalising on a mistake by Peyton Woodward. It was Peyton Woodward herself who levelled things up on 38 minutes, scoring directly from a free kick on the halfway line. It bounced in the penalty area and then it skidded on off the turf and nestled into the top right-hand corner with Gemma Ibrahim beaten. And then the match-winning moment in the second half with only around 15 minutes to go. Sienna Coppola, who asked questions of the Spring Heels defence on many occasions in the wide areas, got down to the byline, and an excellent cutback for Diana McKenzie to score her second of the season. And it's a goal that is worth its weight in gold because it sees Brunswick Juventus get their second win in the NPLW. And congratulations to them, a fine performance. They didn't go in as favourites today, but they got the job done, and they did it their own way, in their own style, their distinct style. And they will be celebrating long and hard tonight with the 3 points in this one. They get themselves at the bottom of the table. It's a little bit of back to the drawing board for Spring Hills. They played some good football. There's some good combinations out there. But at the end of the day, they didn't really create the chances in the final third that we would have expected of them against a team that came into this round sitting on the bottom of the table. But at full time, we're going to leave you here. Steve Curtin, it's been a pleasure to be here bringing you this match this afternoon. Big thank you to Jordan behind the camera for bringing you all the action. Thank you to Chris on stats as well. We've done our best to keep warm up here. It's a cold and wintry afternoon in Melbourne. 11 degrees as we sign off here in the NPLW match of the afternoon. You can flick over and catch the match between third place Heidelberg United and sixth place Preston Lions at Olympic Village. And don't forget, tomorrow we've got South Melbourne, the league leaders, hosting FC Bulleen Lions, coming your way also on the NPL Victoria live stream at 2 p.m. from Lakeside Stadium. We hope you've enjoyed this match. We've certainly been thoroughly entertained here in this particular contest, where it finishes Brunswick Juventus 2, Spring Hills 1. From CB Smith Reserve, until next time, it's good evening.